Good afternoon. A little while ago, I was remembering that a couple of weeks ago I had deleted a video I'd made because actually the reason was because I didn't like the scene of a hedge out on a parking lot that just didn't look very good. And I thought, well, the subject matter is from so long ago, it probably isn't important anyway. So I went ahead and deleted it, but I've been thinking about it some more and decided that maybe some of the detail might be important. So I'm replacing it now. What it was about was, as I had detailed before, back in summer of, or probably the early summer of 1978. Uh, I had accompanied, former stepfather Bill Love on a flight in a Cessna 150 from Sebring, where I was living at the time, to Canandaigua, New York, and back. Reason was he said that his sister was sick and needing to be put in the hospital, and he asked if I'd like to accompany him. So I flew to Canandaigua and back, and then, like I said before, there's been a lot of indications since that back then he secretly conjured and pivoted on just about any kind of detail he could think of from my earlier life to associate with whatever is kind of conspiring or whatever that I didn't know about. So anyway, uh, after the flight, I was back to Sebring, and I guess I was working in construction at that time. And then some months later, though, by the time it was by the time of the end of the summer of 1978, I had moved to Orlando, and I was working in a Kmart store in on the corner of Cimarron and Curry Ford roads. On one day while working there, uh, I noticed a book on the shelf of the book department that I thought would be interesting to study. It was a large hardcover book, reddish orange cover, and printed in the United Kingdom. Salamander book. The title was Soviet War Machine. I thought it would be interesting to study, become a little bit more educated about the matters. The book included some history of Russia from the time of the revolution and after. So I went ahead and bought the book and studied it some, and then put it aside with the rest of the books I had back then. And actually, I kept it through all the years until by about 1989, like I had mentioned before, a very loud traffic broadcasting disturbance started at me soon after the inauguration of George Herbert Walker Bush, when I was temporarily residing on North 41 North Tamiami Trail here in Sarasota. It was really a difficult matter in the beginning, and there was some official corruption that wanted to basically not even acknowledge that it was even happening. So anyway, I called various authorities to try to get help about the matter, and one of them was the Defense Investigative Service. Uh, at that time, I was working on some basic studies that it couldn't none of it could possibly have been secret. One of the volumes I was using was a Soviet War Machine, the book that I bought at Kmart. Uh, it was, some basic work that I thought might conceivably be important, though, and so I presented it as some good, some good work, concern on behalf of our nation. But for whatever reason, they didn't want to help me about anything and didn't want to acknowledge if there was any noisy disturbance in progress. So anyway, I went ahead and had to cope until by early 1990, I ended up for the first time being homeless without a car because of the continuing disturbance. And so I was living out for the first. I spent about a month in the transient lodge of the Salvation Army downtown here in Sarasota. And then, there was just so much disruption. There was always a lot of tension and interrupting from traffic sound until I finally decided to just go out on my own. And I continued to carry the particular book in my duffel bag back then. I spent most of the nights near the harbor, across from Marina Jacks, and on Lido Beach. So anyway, until one day I just got tired of carrying extra weight around in my duffel bag. On a kind of hot day, I was walking along US 41 near Hillview, and I decided I'm just going to go ahead and drop it into the Goodwill drop box across the street. There was a donation center back then, and I've learned that it's still there on the corner of US 41 and Hyde Park, just south of Hillview. So anyway, instead of carrying the excess weight around, that's what happened to the Soviet the book The Soviet War Machine back then. It had never been anything of me changing to be against the United States back then. It was a matter of wanting to become more educated and always for our nation being safe and our people being safe and for peace and hoping that there won't be any war between our nations. So anyway, I thought I'd clarify the matter again and hoping everyone's having a good day. Thanks for your consideration.